Hey everyone, it's Jordan, and today I'm going to be doing On My Shelf book tag. This is like a very old tag that I've been wanting to do for a while, so I thought I would do it today. I know many people ask people on Twitter for like 1 through 20, and then like that correlates to shelves, and then how many books on the shelves, but I thought I would do a random generator just because I think it would be more fun, and plus I don't know how many people would respond on Twitter, to be honest, but I thought a random number generator would make it more fun, so let's get to the tag. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to correlate to shelves, so shelf 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so like second to last bottom of the shelf, which you can't see at the bottom. I'm standing, that's why the angle is a bit different from my other videos. So, and I'm going to do number 1 through 25 because that's pretty much the average. So, 18. Okay. So the number 18 on the 5th book on my shelves is Norway by Kit and Kat Satan. This is a graphic novel that's almost like a B&B's retelling with the Scottish mythology twist. It's one of my favorite graphic novels that I've read. I got this in a book box like years ago, and I've read it like 2 years ago, and I really love it. I know the second volume just came out last year, and I still haven't got my hands on it, but I do really want to continue on with the series. But if you're looking for a graphic novel that's not well known or very underrated, I do recommend Norway. Okay, back to 1 through 18 for the shelves. Shelf 2, which is this shelf right here, right where my hand is. I don't know why I was doing there. And then 1 through 25. 25, okay. So the 25th book on the second shelf is Disney Chills, Part of Your Nightmare by Vera Strange. I just read this last year. I really enjoyed it. It's basically like each book follows like different Disney villains, but you follow the main characters that are making deals with the villains. I don't know from what I get from this one, which is the first book. It's about a girl who makes a deal with Ursula, and then it backfires on her. And I think this definitely would be perfect to read during like Halloween, because look how creepy this covers. I mean, I love this cover, but I mean, look at Flounder. He looks so weird and scary looking, so I definitely really enjoyed it from when I first read it, even though it was a slow read, even though how short it is. It's just because of my busy schedule at the time. I did really enjoy this, and I can't wait to continue on with this series, because I know that what caught my attention was when they have Captain Hook on the cover, which was the 3rd book, and I want to give this a try, so I thought I'd try out with the first book, and yeah, and I really enjoy it, and I can wait to continue on with the series. And now into the next book, then 1 through 18 for the shelves. 2 again, okay. So, now 1 through 25 for the number of books on the shelf. Come on. 15. Okay. So the 15th book on my second shelf is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. This is the first book in the Seafire trilogy, and I read the second book like last year, and I did enjoy these two books. I do really enjoy, but I did not like the main characters just because I wasn't a fan of her, but I do like the side characters more. That's why I want to continue on with the series, and I'm going to plan on reading the last book of the series just to see if I like the series as a whole, even though I'm not a fan of the main character, and I just love the side characters more. I think it's a decent book. It's basically a book about female group of female pirates, basically, and I did really enjoy the first book, even though I'm not a fan of the main character, and I give both books 4 stars in the series, and I hope the last book would not disappoint me. But yeah, I do plan on finishing up the trilogy just to see how I feel about the series as a whole. Okay, for next one is shelf 16. Okay, so this is on my TBR card, which is in my bedroom, and And I think there's 25 books. I'm usually not sure about that. But, yeah, let's get to the number of books now. 24. Okay, and I'll go grab the 24th book on that shelf. So I realized that my TBR card has, from that shelf specifically, only had 11 books. So I had to generate from 1 through 11, and I got number 2 on the 16th shelf, which is the first shelf on my TBR card, which is The Diviners by Libba Bray. It's been on my TBR for a while. I've heard nothing but good things about the series. I know, like, the series just finished, like, about 2 years ago, and I still want to continue on the series. And I got this paperback specifically because I really like this cover more than the other one, because I think the third cover that they had, the hardcover, had a different cover than this one. This was like the first cover change that they did, and the second cover change, which I did not like because it just looks very vague to me, and I just like this cover more because I like the landscape and the people on the cover. I don't know, and I know I do want to read this. I did actually start reading this on audiobook, and then I got to halfway through it, I think, but I DNF'd it because I wasn't in the mood for it. But I do hope to pick it up again because I did really enjoy what I've read so far from the book. So hopefully I'll actually read and finish this soon because I want to know what happens so I could hopefully continue on the series if I end up enjoying it. Okay, so now back to the number of shelves. Number 5. Okay, so back to the second to the bottom shelf there. Now 1 through 25. Hopefully I don't get the same numbers as last time's. Oh, 14. Okay, let me go grab that book. So the 14th book on that 5th shelf is actually a nonfiction book that I've owned for a long time, and of course I would never unhaul it, and I'll explain it in a bit, which is Through Dakota's Eyes by Gary Clinton Anderson and Ellen R. Woolworth. This is about the Minnesota Indian War that happened during World War II, which is a not well-known war because it happened in 1862. And the reason I would never unhaul this because there's records about my ancestors in here, and I'm part Native American, even though some people might not believe that. But on my mom's side, I am part Native American, so and stories about my ancestors are in here, so that's why I don't want to ever want to unhaul this, because it's like, again, it's about my ancestors. So yeah, it's something I don't gravitate towards nonfiction, but I read this book like back in high school, and I really enjoyed it just because it's about my ancestors, and I read about them. So yeah, that's why I would never unhaul it, because there are some stories about my ancestors that are written in here. Okay, so for the next book, it's shelf 8. Okay, so it's this shelf right here. So, and now the corner number book on the shelves, 15. Okay, I'll go grab that book. So the 15th book on the 8th shelf is a novelization of the live-action Beauty and the Beast. You guys know that I'm a big Disney fan, and most importantly, I'm a big fan of Beauty and the Beast, and I saw the remake on the premiere day, and I know some people don't like Disney live-action remakes, but Beauty and the Beast is actually one of my favorite live-action remakes, not just because Beauty and the Beast is one of my top 10 favorite Disney movies of all time, but I actually read this on ebook on my way to Disney World or on my way home from Disney World. I don't remember, but I just love reading the movie. It sounds pretty weird, but I just was happy that I have this, and of course this is definitely a book that I would never unhaul because I just love Beauty and the Beast so much. I just I don't want to get rid of anything related to Beauty and the Beast, but this is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time, and this is actually one of my favorite Disney live-action movies. So yeah, I just love this book so much that it just brings me memories of me reading it, like either on my way to Disney World or coming home from Disney World. Okay, so back to the shelves. Shelf 13. Okay, so it's basically my cube shelves that's over there right in front of me. You guys can't see it, so but that's right here. And now to the number of books. Number 7. Okay, and I'll go grab it. So the 7th book on that shelf is Silent Knit Silent Knit, Deadly Knit by Peggy Earhart. This is a cozy mystery series that I've read for a while. The Knit and Nimble series. This is a Christmas mystery book, and it's also the 4th book in the series. If you haven't read the first book, Murder She Knit, it's about a woman who was starting a knitting club, but the new member got murdered, and she was trying to solve that. And I really enjoyed the first 2 books. But third book, I don't know why, I felt a little bit. I gave it 4 stars. Don't get me wrong, but I do hope that I will read this during Christmas season because I think it will be very appropriate, and I'm just really excited. If I end up getting a mystery pick for my TBR game to get to read, I'll definitely will pick this up for December because it's a Christmas themed mystery. What can go wrong other than it's a Christmas themed mystery? And I definitely would want to read something Christmassy related. Or Christmas related, I should say. Okay, so now to the next book, Shelf 18, which is the bottom of my TBR card. And now to the actual book, 13. Okay, and let me go grab that. So the 13th book on that shelf is Melamander by Thomas Taylor. This is a middle grade. As far as I know, it takes place in a hotel and weird things happen. I don't know, but I've heard good things about it, and plus I really like this cover. This is like a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, if I remember correctly. I got this at Barnes & Noble by where it used to be where I live, but that one closed down last year, so I was paying, they had like a big sale, and I was like, I might as well buy as much as possible before that closes down. So I definitely, this was one of them, and I definitely want to give this a try, not only because it has a gorgeous cover, but I never read any book that, I don't think I've read any books that takes place in a hotel. So yeah, I just really excited about it, and it's a middle grade that's been on my TBR for a while. Okay, so the next book, Shelf 11. Okay, it's like at the same level as shelf number 5, so somewhere on that shelf. And then the number on the shelf, Shelf 2, or book number 2. Okay, now let me go grab that. So the second book on the 11th shelf is The Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. I actually have read part of this book. I've read like maybe 100 pages in, and then I DNF'd it. I started reading the Percy Jackson series years ago, and I know I was liking it. I don't know why I DNF'd the series as a whole, but that's why I plan on rereading Lightning Thief for May, because I do want to read the series, and I know the TV show is also coming out, so I'm excited about that. And I've read the first book before, and I know I enjoyed it, and the second one I also enjoyed, and this one, this is the only book in this series that I DNF'd for some reason. I was liking it so far. Maybe I wasn't in the mood for it for some reason, but my plan is to read the whole series and other the Heroes of Olympus series, which is like a sequel series to the Percy Jackson series, and because I'm really curious about it, and plus I really like retellings, and these are all retellings of Greek mythology, and spin-off or sequel series is Roman mythology inspired. So I definitely want to read this series, and that's why I'm rereading the first book so I can read the entire Percy Jackson series. Okay, I think I'm gonna do one more book for this video, so shelf number 5 again. Oh my gosh, this is like the 3rd time I did the 5th shelf, and hopefully I don't land on this same one, or else I'll be like, I'm not gonna explain the same book and I'll generate another number. But for the book 14, did I talk about 14th book? But I'm gonna go check, and then if I already talked about that book, I'll regenerate a different number. Just give me 1 second. I did already talk about that book, but let me generate a different number. 15. Okay. I'll go grab that book. So the 15th book on the 5th shelf is Night by Nellie Wiesel. This is, if you probably have known, this is a very well-known memoir about this man's experience with being in Auschwitz and concentration camps, and this is his experience when he was a teenager. And I've read this twice in school, and I definitely really enjoy the story. Not only just because, like, I don't usually read a lot of memoirs, but when I read this for school, and I think it's a good story, and many people read a lot of stories that is based around World War II, and I'm just, like, I know this as part of history, but I really enjoy this story, and it's something that I would never thought I would experience. I don't know what I'm saying, but I just know that this was a good book. I didn't know he wrote more books that's about, like, after this book. I don't know, but I definitely really enjoy the story, and I think it's something that people should read at least once in their life. So that's all for On My Shelf Book Tag. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below what stories that you have for some of the books on your bookshelves. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so we know if I ever post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!